What is going on, guys? Stein back with another video. In this video, I'm going to be doing a book review on the psychology of money. I was given this book as a gift. I read it about a week ago, and now I'm going to be talking with you guys about the takeaways that I got from it. And every book you read, you will get takeaways. It doesn't matter if it's a bad book, it's the worst book you ever read. You will get at least one gem out of the book. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about that he talks about in this book, Psychology of Money, is that time is more valuable than money. He talks about how if you were to control either how much money you make or how much time, if you have control over time, people will 100% choose they want to have control over their lives and control over the time, which makes the most sense. So because he said he was working at a really high-paying job. He went to college, he was working this really high-paying job, but, his boss was making him work all the time, and he didn't like that because he didn't have any control over his time. He was working all the time, and he didn't like that. He wanted to have control over his time, and that comes with basically every human being wants to do what they want, when they want, and they want to do how they want. And I read that in 50 Cent's book. So that's one thing. That's the first thing, having control over your time. The second thing is that he talks about right in this book, two topics that impact everyone are health and money, whether you're interested in them or not. He says it right in the book. They impact everyone, health and fitness, or health and money. Whether you're interested in health and money or not, it's going to impact you, and that's what I want this channel to be based upon, is health, wealth, love, happiness, like the 4 pillars of the good life. And it will impact you whether you think it will or not. And that's why I like to base my life on these pillars and focus on these all the time, because they're going to impact you whether you think about them or not. So, health and money. I was watching a Steph is Cold video about a week ago, and he talks about, in Napoleon Hill's book, Outwitting the Devil, he talks about there's 2 things that will either make you or they will break you, and they are poverty and illness. Illness is your health, poverty is your wealth. It's just the absolute opposite. It's just the opposite of health and money. So he said they'll either make you, if you're in poverty and ill, they're either going to make you very healthy and very wealthy, or you're going to stay there in poverty and ill and die sooner or later, because you're either broke or you're ill and you don't treat your body right. And that I actually came back to this book. I forgot that he even said that. I had to review this book here real quick, but I forgot he even said that. But everything you do is impacted by health, wealth, love, and happiness. Literally everything you do. So it's very important to pay attention to those and be the best at your health, wealth, love, and happiness. The third thing is, don't be greedy with your money. He talks about how he was a valet, where he worked as a valet, and there was this guy who was really greedy with his money, and he throws his $100 bills or whatever he has all around, and he said sooner or later this guy wasn't making the kind of money he was because of the attitude that he had with money, is that I'm better than you because I make more money than you, things like that. And yeah, he basically discusses that that's not a tactic that's going to take you far, as being greedy with your money and showing it all off and all that kind of stuff. Is if you have that kind of stuff, you don't need to be greedy, because people already know by just your presence and the way you carry yourself. You don't need to be greedy with it. And he talks about that. And this guy didn't have money for long. This guy was, he made money for a while, and then he doesn't make money anymore. Number 4, friendships and time. Friendships and time with family are what mattered. He did an interview with elderly people, and he asked them, if you could go back in your life, what are some of the things that that you wish you would have spent more time doing. And the people said that they didn't regret, that they didn't say they wanted to work harder, they didn't say like make more money, any of that stuff. They said the most important thing was spending quality time with friendships, people you're friends with, and family members. Controlling your time is the highest dividend that money pays, and that's what he says right here in this book. And like I said, not a single person wanted to have their work based on a desired future earning power. What am I saying here? Okay. Yeah, that's the main point, is people wanted to have quality friendships and quality relationships with other people, spending time with their children. None of them wanted to spend more time working. And I think that's why love and happiness is so important in the 4 pillars of the good life, because that bases a lot. I mean, our family, our kids, our friendships, those really impact us a lot, and the decisions we make, things like that. And spending quality time with people like that are close with you is going to pay dividends more than how much money you can make in the long run. And the last thing he talks about is the car paradox. So he talks about, like, if people drive Ferrari, Lamborghini, or these nice cars, he says that people look at the cars and they say to themselves, wow, I wonder what people would think of me if I drove that car, or something of that nature. And he talks about how people don't actually think of the person in the car that's driving the Lamborghini or the Ferrari. They think of themselves driving the Lamborghini and the Ferrari, and what other people would think of them if they're driving that Lamborghini or Ferrari. And this comes to no surprise, because I read this in The 50th Law by 50 Cent Robert Greene. Every single person you watching this video is motivated by self-interest, and that's what we all are interested by. And having this interest in yourself is the number one. Every single person, no matter who you are, will be interested in yourself more than any other person. So that's why this doesn't surprise me, the car paradox of, oh, what would people think of me, in driving this Lamborghini Ferrari. And it comes to no surprise, because we're all interested in ourselves. We're not interested in other people. We're strictly motivated by ourselves. And that's why How to Win Friends and Influence People is probably one of the best books of all time, because it puts you in a position to put other people before yourself, so that way, you'll win friends and influence people. The name of the book. You put the other person before yourself, and you will win friends and influence people. And that's the number one takeaway. Brandon Carter says that's the number one book of all time, How to Win Friends and Influence People, by Dale Carnegie. Because everyone, like I said, is interested in themselves. But if you just step away and you put interest in the other person, you will gain friends and you will influence people. So that's the book for today. Book review for today, The Psychology of Money. Every book you get, you will find some gems. And those are the ones I took away from this book. Those are the biggest gems I took away. He goes really in depth with the depression, like in 2008, and the one that was in before I was even born in 19 whatever. But it's a good book. Every book you read, you'll find gems. That's the video. Like the video, comment, subscribe, turn your post notifications on. We will see you in the next one.